Well, this episode of Yuri Kuma was a whole lot of... what? Because that bear, or the dead bear. Now, I'm gonna take it as if that dead bear is symbolizing an ex-lesbian or something like that. That's what I'm assuming what that dead bear stands for, but... yeah, so in this episode, we have more, hints and foreshadowing towards the real concept of what this world means, the Wall of Severance and stuff like that, how it's been going on constantly since the very beginning of the series. More of those controversial themes along with, the divide between lesbians and the acceptable, girl love pretty much in the series. You have it to where, once again, we're having hints at that type of aspect and what the true themes of the series are. Now, looking at this episode of Yuri Kuma has the spotlight on Kurtaha and Lulu. We get to see Lulu's perspective on the situation of what Ginko's going through, what she was doing in a couple episodes back when she turned on Ginko and kind of betrayed her. We finally get the perspective and the thoughts of Lulu in this episode, what she truly thought about the entire situation. So, Lulu, as a character in this episode, I feel very bad for her because she was a character that actually gave up her love for Ginko. Even though she was jealous, she kind of gave up her love for Ginko for Kurtaha. And in the end, after she reveals everything, she loses her girl form, like her human girl form, and gets turned into a regular bear and then forced to be kicked out and thrown into the other side, in the bear's world. So to see that is very sad, because seeing how she sacrificed a lot, and she was going that far to sacrifice her love for Ginko to just tell Kurtaha the truth and stuff like that, it was a slightly depressing episode, because she really didn't deserve that. She's one of my favorite female characters from the series, and to see what happened to poor Lulu in this episode is kind of fucked up. It really is. I'm glad she didn't get killed. When you saw the, laser beam thing or the ray gun come from the vehicle and was shooting, I thought Lulu was going to die. I'm like, no, don't do this shit to me. I'm like, don't kill Best Girl. Please do not kill Best Girl. And then all of a sudden, we see the shot, you see a corpse, and we find out that this bear's corpse is not the same as Lulu. Now, here's the question. Who is that? Who is that bear that got shot? Who is that bear? Is it a stuffed animal? But I highly doubt that. So, what or who is that bear? Now, one thing I will say, at the end of this episode, it leaves us on a cliffhanger, seeing that Ginko has now succumbed to her desire. She wants to eat Kurtaha. So, we might have a similar type ending to how the series began, which would be very sad. It would be very sad or depressing to see how the events of what all is leading up to if Kurtaha does get eaten by Ginko, because it would be similar to what happened to Kurtaha's mother and then when Ginko got cast out. Because let's look at the similarities in this episode. In this episode, we saw the exact same circumstances slightly going on that happened to Kurtaha's mother, because you remember Kurtaha's mother was running with Ginko in her arms and threw her out past the Wall of Severance through the door of friendship. Well, we see the exact same thing going down in this episode. It's almost identical. Kurtaha's holding Lulu in her arms, covered up like a baby, and she puts her on the other side, and when she walks over and the door closes, it's so similar to how Ginko, went through the door of friendship. So to see that, it makes me wonder, is this series going to end similar to how Kurtaha's mother died? Is that where I'm seeing this series going? Because if it does, that'd be kind of a dark ending. It really would. But regardless of that, this episode of Yuri Kuma, it was a very good episode that focused on a lot of symbolism, clarifying a lot of other different symbolism and references that we've been wondering about for the past couple episodes, and I can't wait to see how the finale of this series is done. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about this week's episode of Yuri Kuma? Did you enjoy it? Did you like those Yuri bears? Did you like that zombie-fied top bear that most likely is representing an ex-lesbian? Let me know in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.